Well,
Yeah.
let's see if it'll actually let it happen this time, or since it's lagging again, it might not. And it might just decide that miraculously it has to auto crash Firefox.
Exactly.
It has stopped lagging this time for the most part, somewhat. But for whatever reason, we just tried it and it just hard crashed. Give me a moment.
Yeah. For some odd reason, we just hard crashed. Thank you very much, Mozilla.
Actually, I want to claim that's actually probably Chrome OS that was the problem.
Oh, probably right. Yeah, it's Chrome.
The evil bastards. Anyway.
Yeah.
Welcome to the Off the Cuff podcast.
Yes.
Episode 9.
9.
Second ever live episode, and not only that, second ever potato quality.
Yes. Potato quality. Exactly.
Try some lighting.
Yes.
Hey, you like it? And it's unplugged because of course it is. I didn't unplug it. Let go. Professionals.
Exactly. We're just being professional.
I completely forgot to plug this in like I wanted to last time. So let's. Part of the problem is that part of the problem, and that's part of the problem. Why is this plugged in actually?
Yeah, listen to him rant right now.
I'm not even ranting. What do you mean? Don't accuse me of things I'm not doing. Okay. This. I should have done this before, but I just didn't think of it. Because that was my fault this time that it was taking so long. Hello? Oh, that's not power. I'm dumb. There we go. Okay. Is that any better?
Exactly.
Ow!
It's a lot better.
Sorry, I took my ankle off. Okay.
So.
Like last episode.
Yes, exactly.
So zero clue what we're going to talk about.
Zero. So I'll tell you this one thing that's been on my mind very recently, and you heard just 30 seconds of it, HOA stuff.
Yeah, he's been on the HOA kick for a long time, or for like the last month at least. He's been, and it's according to, in fact, last episode he referenced it. It was actually mostly AI generated HOA
exactly
stories.
It is. It's AI generated stuff.
So
absolutely.
It's so ironic though that like we literally made the episode.
Exactly.
It's episode 7, I think, of about the AI stuff, and like you're still technically supporting it by watching it. You evil bastard! You hypocrite! You hypocrite! Let me see. What am I doing? Yeah, no, HOAs are fucking stupid, dude.
Absolutely.
I think almost anybody can agree with that, though. There was somebody who posted a kind of a rant thing on Twitter recently. That was actually, of course, it's a boomer.
Yeah.
Probably closer to older gen, but that was ranting on 4th of July. Yeah. About how he had to call the police because people were lighting off fireworks at 8:30 p.m. The audacity in the HOA. It's like, there's a reason why we live in an HOA. It's like, okay. Yikes. Okay.
All right. The reasoning why I bring it up in the first place is because you know how these people operate. When it comes to annexations and stuff like that.
Well, not even annexations, but just like how iron-fisted.
Exactly.
They tend to run, where like they literally, sometimes they will literally come out with an actual like measuring stick or a ruler to measure the blade length of your grass.
Exactly.
And then bitch about it, or like the depth of your mulch, which we would call bark dust up here, but yeah. Or in the sound region they call beauty bark.
Beauty bark.
Oh God.
So last night I was watching a one of those stories, and I'll tell you this one. It's very, very funny. Essentially, one of them was about a guy who moved into an HOA and stuff like that, agreed to their guidelines and all of that stuff.
Yeah.
But one of the things that he did was he had a certain kind of tree that grew big and fat and also about 22 feet tall and stuff.
A tree that grew 22 feet tall but was big and fat.
Yeah.
I haven't heard of a tree that's like that before.
Maybe they got some details wrong. I think but the point being, one of the things that he did was he carved the tree into a 15-foot middle finger.
I had to make sure it was functioning correctly.
Yeah, really.
Yeah, okay, go ahead.
Well, what's hilarious is the fact that it was a what was it called? What was funny about it was that
we're both so attention deficit.
Exactly.
You see me do anything, and your brain just stalls out.
Yeah, I gotta go there. I gotta pay attention. Squirrel.
Yeah.
But the fact is, what was funny about it was that the guy he was doing it in such a way just to say screw you.
Just to say fuck you.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh yeah, coincidentally, we're wearing the podcast shirts today, which actually, now that I think about it, you haven't seen the episode released yet, where we actually presented these the first time.
Exactly.
At Walton Hills Nature Park. But yeah.
Yes.
So now this is the first episode you'll see of it. If you watch it, which, apparently nobody will watch the last live episode.
Yeah.
Apparently doing a live podcast episode means that nobody's going to watch.
Yeah.
They didn't even give it a chance because, you think it's okay, well, they're not going to give it a chance because, oh, they don't see the quality so bad. And it's actually, I don't even think that's what it is because we don't take screenshots or, we don't have thumbnails for these live episodes. So literally all you get is just basically the channel banner.
Yeah.
And that's all you get for the thumbnail. So it's not like that is why you would not, click on it like you would assume. So it's kind of stupid, but
it is.
It's it literally seems to be if it was live, I won't want to see it. It's okay, well, it's also kind of how a lot of podcasts work. But all right, sure. Anyway, what was my point for mentioning that? God damn it!
Don't recall.
It was related to us and the shirts.
Yeah.
I don't remember.
I don't remember either.
Anyway, it's always fun, though, to have people who are petty enough, and the good kind of petty, that they will actually go and they will pettily just plot out something to really piss off the HOAs, especially the presidents of their HOAs, just because of how petty they are, but in the bad way. And so it's all right, I'll show you what the way the good petty is, and you're going to absolutely seethe at it, because that's the point, and it's good, good dog. Good
Poochie.
You're doing God's work, as some people say.
Exactly. Good Poochie.
The work of the revolution.
Yes!
Of the revolt.
Yeah!
Of the overthrow of the government. Yeah, which is actually a huge thing that everybody's talking about because of all the flock camera stuff right now. Because there is just it's reaching a fever pitch of communities across the country being so exceedingly against flock cameras that kind of police state surveillance that they're actually actively getting headlines all the time because they keep cutting down the flock cameras as soon as they're installed. They go out there that night and they cut them down. The biggest one recently is in North Carolina. They, I think it was New Brunswick, North Carolina. I can't quite remember though. I think that's what it was. There's 4th of July night. There was 2 people who were, of course, completely, neck gaitered and masked up, sunglasses, everything at night, that went out there full, hoodies and sweatpants and everything, black, so that they couldn't be identified by the biometrics of the camera system. And they went over there. They just, they literally looked like just a casual stroll, right? But what they did is they were doing that because they were, of course, immediately cutting down the cameras because they installed them, I guess, it must have been the day before that day. And so they immediately went through to cut down the flock cameras in their community that they had just installed. And the police immediately were getting desperate to try to identify who they were so they could charge them. And instead, the entire community, pretty much the entire state of North Carolina and nationwide, started sending, because they have a tip line they ask people to send tips to, in case you could identify them. And so the whole community started this whole thing where, like, basically it went nationwide, and everybody was calling the tip line. It's saying it's Batman and Robin, or
it's Batman and Robin,
or like these other basically superhero types. Who go out there semi-rogue, and they do their heroism, and they go out there and they protect their communities, and so there's what is that? Something in Tonto. What is the other one again? Can't remember, but anyway, that was another one of them that like most people were calling the tip line and saying that's who it was. It's and some of them were saying it's Taco Bell or whatever. It's Taco Bell. Just throwing out stupid shit because in others nobody wants them identified for obvious reasons because nobody supports those things. And so the police got more and more desperate, and as that happened, they got more and more nationwide, and they ended up having hundreds of thousands of people giving them tips that it was all these different basically quintessential internationally recognized rogue heroes types, basically. In other words, making the point of you're never going to identify them because we don't want you to, because we don't support this. It's in other words, they're heroes to us. That's why we also use this version of that. Civil rebellion type of stuff. So it is really cool. And I said, same vein about HOA retaliations, basically, where people will do that, and they'll do it in a technically legal fashion or legally gray fashion, just so they can really push the boundary and the envelope to make sure that they really make a headache for them. If they thought that they were going to be mad, they were pissed off and livid before because one of the residents dared to not cut their lawn in time or at the correct height or whatever, then you're gonna really be pissed off now.
Well, okay, I'll tell you this one. The thing that
fuck HOAs, dude.
I'll tell you this one that pisses me off. It's not more or less what they do in their communities and stuff like that. It's how they enforce their communities at times.
For me, it's both, definitely. It's very rare that you get an actually positively impactful HOA that isn't intrusive onto other people's property rights or whatever.
Well, no kidding.
They actually genuinely won't get on anybody because, maybe even the majority of the board of the HOA doesn't like how your property looks or how you keep it, but they won't get on you about it because that's not what they care about. What they care about is the actual quality of life or the safety or whatever of that community.
Exactly.
So that's why they do that, because then the HOA gives them that fee, right, from their members, which is everybody who lives there, so that then that can pay for the maintenance and the upkeep of community centers or parks or whatever else, or roads and
the HOA that I'm a part of or whatever. They really don't care how you keep your lawn and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I mean, at times they will instruct the what was it called? They will instruct
homeowners.
The company they use to
do landscaping.
Yeah. To go on my property and
mow it. Yeah.
At times, which I don't have a problem with at times.
Well, I wouldn't have a problem with it normally either, unless it's 6 a.m.
Well, no kidding.
Then I'd be okay, guys, come on, give me a break. Wait until 9 at earliest.
Yeah, exactly.
You help me out here.
But I mean, for the most part, the what was it called? The thing that I'm talking about specifically, the thing that pisses me off in and of itself is I've seen, and I know how property is acquired at times.
Yeah.
Property is technically acquired through fraudulent means. I've seen people set up, what was it called? What are they called? Contacts inside of the county services and stuff like that.
Yeah, absolutely.
To basically enforce a fraudulent document here or there.
Yeah.
And basically, absolutely. That's how property sometimes is acquired.
Yeah, I mean it's similar. That's just the country, though, unfortunately, legally, because it's similar to that of making your business public, because if you ever have a much bigger company or corporation offer to buy your shares, aka buy the company out, and you reject that, you're setting yourself up to get a hostile takeover conducted. Because if they come back again, then you know that's what they're gonna. That's what their plan is. Is hey, if you keep telling us no at each offer we give you, we will take over your company anyway.
Exactly.
Whether you want us to or not, because we are not going to take no for an answer. And then you won't get anything out of it, because we will just simply buy out the board and we'll force you out, by buying the shares, which is a hostile takeover. It's so stupid. It's like people, this is why I understood it, why that time, remember, number of years back, it might even be a decade ago now, I don't think it's quite that far, but maybe it was, when Elon Musk had that infamous massive fucking meltdown.
Yeah.
I think it was a Tesla and SpaceX board meeting, and I think it was mainly for Tesla though. And he had just given an IPO, initial public offering, for Tesla. So shareholders came in, he's made it public, and he had that infamous meltdown because of the fact that they wanted to take the company completely almost opposite direction of where he wanted it to go. And so he was not having it. He was just absolutely just exploded on their ass, because it's how basically you just tearing them, fix 6 billion new holes. And most people are like, fuck Elon for that point. I'm like, dude, it makes total sense though. The only reason why I can't fully defend him in that is because he would have known better. I know he knew better, including with his other, business partners. He knows how business works. He knows that if he goes public, that's a risk, including a hostile takeover. So that was entirely his own damn fault for being dumb enough to actually decide to do an IPO and make Tesla become public. Because the moment he did that, the shareholders are going to want to take it whatever direction they want to take it.
Exactly.
And it might not be the direction you have. And it's if you know, this is why I always say this, if you know for a fact that the company you start and you're running is a passion project, it's quote unquote your baby, right? It's literally like a child.
Yeah, exactly.
Because it's such a passion project. Never take that company public.
Never.
Because you will absolutely regret it every fucking time. Because you will not have, even if you're the owner still, and the CEO or the CFO or whatever the highest level is in your company is, plus founder, and you're still there despite the initial public offering or the other stocks that come out later. The fact is that you relinquish a fuckload of your power and your control over the company, because it becomes corrupted democracy, where basically the shareholders with the money are going to actually hold, because they have the most positions. They're actually going to be able to force it their direction.
Exactly.
And it doesn't matter how much you melt down or come against them for that. They will bind together to then buy out your shares forcefully so that they can take over the company. So they can force it to go the direction they want. So, on one hand, I totally get why he melted down. Because that showed that it really was a passion project of his, was Tesla. Mm-hmm. And it was his baby. But he knew he should have known better, and I know he did know better, than to take it public if he didn't want that to happen.
Well, no kidding.
But also, he was already still top 3 richest people in the world, so obviously at that point, it didn't matter how many other rich shit-basket shareholders came into Tesla at that point.
Exactly.
They're not going to try to do the same kind of shit with him in his company, because they wouldn't be able to probably afford it, including the litigious fees, the legal fees, from how how litigious it's going to get. So, yeah. So it's very similar to that.
It is, actually.
Because a lot of HOAs, especially the more staunch, cliché-ly asinine ones or insulting ones, controlling ones, those are the ones that actually also, they're highly litigious. They're incredibly litigious. And of course, these are usually also the higher end ones that have you have to put a lot more money to buy in anyway, let alone you pay monthly into HOA fees, because at the end of the day, they have therefore all the connections and the money, including to police departments and stuff, and sometimes district attorneys or whatever. And so as a result, like, they have the connections and they have the money to be able to sue you into the ground and take back over your property again because you don't comply with HOA rulings, which are technically themselves extra legal, as in the sense they're out beyond legality.
Exactly.
The laws that govern the land. So
I'll tell you this one. The part of the reasoning that they exist like that, and I'll be straightforward with you. All right.
Yeah.
I was listening to the stuff in and of itself. Basically,
they're the loudest NIMBYs.
Yes,
that's what those are. They're the loudest. Not my backyard. It's like, well, it's not your backyard, is it? It's your neighborhood, but it's not your backyard, and therefore, if it's your neighborhood, that's not ownership. So that, not context, is it?
Well, all right.
Shut the fuck up.
So there's. All right,
my backyard. Fuck you.
So basically, in ancient times, there was a concept out there called covenants. Essentially, basically, you couldn't immigrate to a certain nation without coming under the worldview of that covenant.
You're right.
In and of itself.
Yeah, which is a form of assimilation.
It is, yes. Essentially, though, the covenant, covenants, they still exist today in a legal form.
Oh, I know, yeah.
Basically, the people in and of itself in HOAs, though, what they do is they set it up to where a certain community, quote unquote, establishes a covenant with a certain people group, which requires you to sign on the dotted line, blah, blah, blah. And you have to adhere to their bylaws, essentially.
Yep.
Basically, they become, in a sense, due to these covenants, what were they called? Semi-countries, essentially.
Yeah.
But that doesn't negate the fact that they aren't, that doesn't mean that they're sovereign, where they don't follow your laws.
Well, technically, but that's why I say extra legal, because they're allowed to go almost use their own rules or covenants, whatever they call it, in contrast to the law. So that, the law somehow gets trumped by an HOA rule. And it's like, what? You know,
at times they will, but they
which should be innately illegal for obvious reasons.
Well, no kidding. But it is innately illegal at times, but basically it's not necessarily quote unquote illegal. It's basically a group of people saying, look, we're signing this covenant in and of itself, and we're giving these people charge over our lives.
I know, yeah.
Over our property.
Which is one of the stupidest things in the world you could do.
Now, with that stated, where things get problematic is when the quote unquote these HOAs tend to infringe on what was it called?
Your own personal rights.
Your own personal rights.
And liberties. Yeah.
Exactly. Which a covenant is not supposed to do.
Yeah, but that's why kind of my point when I was mentioning that is like a lot of times they'll just allow them to do that anyway. Again, why it's extra legal.
Well, no kidding.
It's really fucking stupid. There's like some HOAs where you literally pay thousands of dollars a month.
Yes.
Thousands a month into the HOA. And it's like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, so you buy your own property, you buy your own house and place. Except then you also buy into an HOA every month, sometimes into the thousands of dollars, which immediately then negates the entire point of owning your own fucking property.
Correct.
Why did you buy a property?
Exactly.
Like, what's the point of that? Seriously.
Why did you buy that property? Yeah.
Oh, it's so
stupid.
Well,
technically, they didn't buy the property.
No, they did. They literally if their name is on the title and they did buy it, not mortgage. It's
Well, yeah.
And they literally legally, especially at the national level, so the federal level, they have full ownership over that property.
Well, all right. So there's a price to be paid for lawful ownership, which requires a deed in and of itself.
Which is what you get, even in an HOA.
At times, or you're just renting.
Right, but I'm talking about the people who actually buy the property. They buy the house.
Yeah. Yeah.
and then pay the fee. That's
yeah.
what I'm referring to.
That's you're going to pay through the nose.
Which again makes no sense because you're immediately saying, yes, I will pay and buy my own property, but immediately relinquish and hand over a lot of my legal rights to my own property and to do what I want with it. Because what? Like it's one of the most like fiscally irresponsible things somebody could do too.
Well,
it's so
some
irrational.
people, they don't have a choice to, man. Like basically,
you always have a choice not to move into an HOA.
No, that's not the point. The point is that what I'm saying, they don't have a choice, is if they want to, if they want that particular house or whatever, and they don't have the money for it, for the deed itself.
Yeah.
Which can happen. I mean, sometimes the deed is actually worth an awful lot of money, essentially.
Well, obviously, yeah.
Then basically, what happens is then the deed is what they will do is they will mortgage the house, and the HOA will grant them the ability to live there. But you have to follow their laws and their covenants.
No,
and
I know,
blah, blah, blah.
Which again is still stupid and it shouldn't be legalized. But one of the other things I was thinking of was, in terms of extra legal bullshit, is the NBA or other major league sports, right? But especially the NBA is the one I'm most familiar with, obviously, because it's the only one I care about. I care about the sport, not necessarily the league, but you know.
Yes.
That's the only one I watch, pay attention to. But they literally basically have their own, like when they say, NBA Board of Governors, technically it literally is governors. Like each team or franchise is their own state.
Yes.
Via their owners. And then obviously, therefore, they are the Board of Governors alongside of the executives who run the league. And of course, the top, which is effectively considered the presidency, but is the exact equivalent. But in this case, it's called the commissioner, as of course, in this case, Adam Silver, who looks like a fucking Fievel villain. But
a Fievel villain?
He does. He looks like a fucking rat in human form. He really does. That and kind of alienish. It's weird. He kind of looks like if Dobby got really aggressive. If Dobby got really aggressively stretched out to like 6+ feet tall and like really narrowed, and scrawny. It's like he looks like that mixed with a Fievel villain rat. Yeah, it's fucking.
In other words, if you've seen the hang on a second here. This is hilarious.
He's getting distracted.
Yes, I'm getting distracted, and I want to show this picture.
This is why, as a transit advocate, I'm against branch lines of any kind.
The rich guy from Simpsons.
Isn't that the administrator or whatever who owns the nuclear plant? Yeah, it is.
That's what he looks like?
Mr. Burns, right. No. He doesn't actually at all.
This guy looks like a rat, dude.
Not to me, but anyway. By the way, just offhand, the Simpsons was something that none of us were ever allowed to watch growing up in my family because for some reason as Jehovah's Witnesses, you weren't allowed to do that. At least the more fundamental families like my own. Because somehow it was just like too violating of their doctrine apparently in terms of like sexual jokes and references and other stuff like that. And so they're like, you're not allowed to touch The Simpsons or watch that in this household. So I have very little context, despite the fact that also we're Oregonians. So it's especially ironic because again, the creators of The Simpsons,
Springfield,
is literally from Springfield, which is east of Eugene. It's the Twin Cities down there in the south end of the very southern tip of the valley. Really stupid in that way as well. But yeah, it's literally, so that Springfield is based off of Springfield, Oregon. But because that's where he's from, the main guy who came up with it. But anyway, so my point being is that they literally run like that, literally, to where the federal government here in the United States will defer to them. So in certain instances, crimes happen in the NBA or whatever, they'll do their own investigations nowadays more than ever, But I think it's more optics related.
Yes.
But they still let the NBA come up with the final gavel on what the determination will be for certain things that happen with their players or whatever. It's one of the stupidest things in the world. So literally, legally, you're basically, if you have like sue the NBA,
yes,
or a franchise in it, you don't go through the usual courts, the actual political or governmental courts. You go through the NBA itself. A lot of times they'll just defer it and they'll be like, "You guys figure it out." And it's like,
why?
but you're violating sometimes federal laws, and you're still going to be like, "That's your thing." It's like, what?
What?
It's one of the most infuriatingly dumb and stupid things because it's completely irrational and illogical, and it's also highly corrupt because it's like,
it is corrupt.
What's the point? What is the fucking point at that point of having a government at all? If the government themselves are going to be like, "You figure it out." Like, really? Fuck you. Like,
well, what's even worse, man? What's even worse than that? Sometimes these people will actually take people and set them up with fake credentials and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And it's total garbage, man.
Yeah. There's another thing off of that also that I was thinking of in that related vein, but I'm not remembering what it is right now. I was actually remembering it because I thought of it after that, and then I remembered the NBA thing finally after trying for a little bit. I'm like, okay, that was the first thing. And so then I'll get to another thing, but now that other thing I don't remember in a moment. Annoyingly, it's so annoying. Yeah, I don't know. It's all stupid stuff, like the extra legal crap. It's so dumb. Oh my god, so frustrating. But anyway, welcome to the United States of America. Exactly. That's how this fucking place works, unfortunately. It's a corporatocracy. Or even a corporate kleptocracy is another way you could put it.
Yes.
It's nothing but negative government types is actually what the United States represents and actually operates.
Exactly.
It's exciting stuff.
Very exciting stuff.
I really wish my brain would give me what the fuck it was. It was the one I actually wanted to say more, but I wanted to keep it in order. But I knew when you went off on that branch, so I'm like, it's gonna make me forget it.
Sorry,
because it was just enough that my brain's like, and now I'm not gonna forget to you ever again. Sorry. Until 3 a.m. 6 months from now, probably. But it's completely irrelevant because that's how my brain works, unfortunately. It's been on a roll that way lately, though. So to be fair,
oops.
It's fine. It happens all the time. It's the attention deficit related stuff that happens a lot. That's actually why, like, in conversations, a lot of times people get really mad at me for it. But like, I interject a lot of times, and I'll like force my interjection in so that I can say something I want to say. Because I know how my brain works. If I don't say it when I because it's important to me to say it too. Like, I think it's important to the topic or whatever. I have to do it right when I get it, because if I don't, I'm gonna forget it. I'm not gonna get it back, and it's gonna piss me the fuck off because I'm like, it was important. I don't remember anymore. Like, that's why I have to be the one to talk, because like I can't just sit here and wait for you, to like slow pace your way through what you're gonna say, because you have to think before you speak. You idiot! Like,
sorry.
And that's not me talking to you.
Yeah, I know.
I'm saying in general, it's like, don't think before you speak. Just fucking say it. Like, whatever the fuck your thought is, just spit it out. That's how conversation should be. Fucking talk. Just don't think, just speak. That's the rule. Like, it doesn't make sense otherwise, communication to me, if you do anything else, because it's also really irritating to me, because it's like, there's no life to the conversation when somebody has to sit there and be Obama and think for every other word they're going to say, to make sure it's like, well, I got to make sure that, A, people understand, the most amount of people can understand what I'm saying. B, that they're not confused by it. C, that I'm using non-inflammatory words that might have a chance to inflame some and upset some people. Like the whole list, right? And it's like, just fucking talk. Just say it. Like, why do you have to sit here and be like, it's like, my American people, we have experienced a great tragedy as of yesterday. Now, I don't want to downplay the tragedy and its impacts. However, we must remain calm. You know, like that's Barack Obama in a nutshell. You know, it's like just fucking say it. Like, oh, I hated listening to Barack because he's like most people love how he talks. Most people actually, the majority of people, they love it. They think it's great. I'm sitting here like he's fucking killing me inside. Like I want to. You're killing me, Smalls.
You're killing me,
Smalls. Put a bullet in my head. Like, just fucking talk, dude. Stop thinking and to articulate your speech and just fucking spit shit out your mouth. Like, fucking Christ.
Okay, you know how you understand why people do that, right? And I'm not going to deny it ticks me off too. Okay,
you can tell how aggressively PR trained he was because the only people who do that, especially in that position, that aggressively. Is the highly, like, the overly PR trained people.
I know.
That are just, they act like every word might be a landmine, so they have to, like, think every last word.
Well, dude, I mean...
And it's like...
How often were you accused of being racist?
Not very often, actually.
There's a lot of...
Very rarely, actually. It's only via the internet that I've ever been accused of that. Because of the fact that I'll make a joke or some stupid thing, and they're like, or I'll say a certain word, or I'll say a certain lyric, and they're like, that's racist. And I'm like, it's not racist. Just because you think it is. Like,
exactly.
What?
Well, dude, I mean, you know how certain people are, man.
Yeah, I know that, yeah. Most people
it's stupid, man. Yes. I mean, unfortunately.
I've been accused of a lot of things, though. But, like, that's not one of them, surprisingly. Enough. At least not yet.
At least not yet.
Surprisingly. I've been accused most of being extremely fucking rude, apparently.
Well, now this actually has morphed into another topic now.
I know, yeah.
I literally hate it. I hate it when people, they use their offense, quote unquote,
their feelings
to misjudge what you're saying.
Yeah, or well, my biggest peeve even beyond that is extrapolation.
Exactly.
The amount of people who fucking extrapolate these days is intense. It's like, and it seems to ever grow. And so these are the same people who use logical fallacies and they attack ad hominem, right? They're going to attack your character instead of actually attacking what you're saying or whatever, even though that's not a great, healthy thing to do either. They're like, you know, and they're going to insult you and you're just going to tear you 6 new holes from Friday because they're mad, because they're offended, because you didn't agree with them, basically.
Exactly.
And it's just like, fuck you.
Fuck you.
Fuck off, bro.
I mean,
it's so dumb, dude.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sorry, but people do that, and
all the time.
It's stupid,
and of course, they insist to believe whatever they've extrapolated.
Exactly.
Like
they insist to believe that.
The amount, like, in other words, aka they've already made up their mind. Like, the moment you say anything that they personally find offensive, it's automatically now somehow this horrible, evil thing. You know, it's like you're ever perturbed in the book for it. You know, and you can't. Nobody will ever convince them otherwise. They're just bound and determined to insist that is the case. This is who you are. It's like most of these people, of course, they've never even seen you before. They've never heard of you before. They don't even know who you are. You're complete strangers, and their entire view of you is colored in full, vivid detail. You know, and it's always negative. And it's like, fuck you. Like, seriously, fuck you. Like, that is the dumbest shit ever. Like, you talk about fucking being a miserable cunt. You know, like, Jesus Christ. Like, improve your intense misery if you get by
exactly.
Doing that is fucking intensely miserable of a person you are. Like, get some fucking therapy or some shit. Like,
get some freaking therapy.
If you're that tortured and miserable, either that or go back to Y2K and start cutting yourself to Green Day and Linkin Park and Fall Out Boy. Like, just get your piercings and your stupid tats and your dye your hair black and have the fucking, like, ugh, you know, all the cliches, right? It's so stupid.
It is. It's dumb.
Get your damn nose ring and your stupid lip stud or tongue stud and fucking get the fuck out. You start cutting yourself. I'm cutting. Nobody understands me. It's like, yeah, maybe because you're a fucking miserable cunt.
Exactly.
Jesus. You and the fucking Ricer dudes who have no fucking self-confidence whatsoever and have to compensate for their micro penises at full action with a fucking loud muffler and tuned fucking engine so that it's as loud as possible. You know, like, yeah, no, you two would absolutely make the perfect couple at that point. You're built for each other. Jesus. Two miserable idiots that nobody likes. But, oh god, the extrapolation that happens to me is so incessant and it drives me ballistic. It just really drives me nuts. Because it's just
I don't blame you.
Dude, there's no rationale you're using at that point. Like, if you have to extrapolate because somebody said something, and you interpret it in a way.
Yeah. And
you insist that it can only be the way you interpret it. You're the one who's proving yourself to be the wrong one in the situation. And an idiot. Like, a special kind of brain dead moron. Because, like, you just want to be mad, apparently. You just want to be offended. Like, get real. Get a life. Ironically.
Exactly!
Yeah, get a life. It's from the guy who doesn't have one. But that says a lot, actually.
Exactly, man.
That's actually a statement of fact. Like, I don't have really a life at all. So it's like, to be fair, if I have to tell you that, there's a major fucking error on your
No kidding!
It's a massive fucking issue that you should feel mortified about. Because, god damn, dude. But yeah, it's utterly insane to me. But... like, you know, the if it's not rude, right, and being sexist, apparently, you know, transphobic and all these are the more common ones I get, or being a hard, you know, Bible thumping hardcore creationist Trumper somehow because, you know, if I don't agree with evolution, then I'm clearly a Trumper and a Bible thumper and a creationist. No matter how much I say I'm not a creationist, I am. It proves it because look at what you just said. Fuck you. You know, like, or another example is the fucking case of if it's not that, and you know, so a MAGA nut or whatever, or far right Bible thumper. Another common one that's almost as common as that, not quite as common, but almost as common, is that I'm a dirty, nasty far left commie. And it's like, I literally cannot be both. Make up your fucking mind. What am I?
Yeah, make up your mind.
They're literal opposites. Try again. Like, that is ridiculous.
Yes, they're literally opposites. Try again.
It's so wildly, stupidly insane. But I actually piss people off just in general because when they actually do try to, like, maintain the slightest sliver of an open mind and actually, like, debate, go back and forth and listen to me, they get so angry about it with me because just at who I am or like what I express, because they're like, but that's a contradiction. And like a lot of times to me, it's not a contradiction. It's just common sense. Like, you can have a mix of all over spectrums. Like, it's
exactly.
And, you know, they're like, what? Because like, how can you be a clear, proud atheist and be against like all this corporate corruption and, you know, fascism, while also being somebody who defends, you know, I don't know, Charlie Kirk and people like J.K. Rowling and their wrongful, hurtful, harmful view and belief about turfism, you know, being a turf, a trans exclusionary radical feminist, as it stands for, or whatever else. And it's like, you know, how can you be such a transphobe at the same time? Like, it's like, how can you be an anti-vaxxer but also trans, you know, but also be like. It's like, maybe because of the fact that, you know,
it's anti-logic,
Well, not only that, it's maybe because of the fact that, I don't know, everything's not so fucking black and white. Like, do you actually have a substance to your nature and your mind? And
exactly.
Your knowledge base and everything and experience actually means that you're like existing and ironically, once again, living life. Rather than using your fucking brain, rather than actually going out there and being like, well, actually, if you believe this, you can only believe these lists of things, but you have to be against these. No.
I don't.
That's not how that works. That's how it works for an idiot who doesn't use their fucking brain.
No kidding! Jeez!
Jesus Christ, man. I know at their cores, like, if people knew who they really were, and they actually genuinely thought for themselves rather than just following the crowd like they always do, and whatever experts tell them to believe, then they would be like me or like a lot of other people out there, where they would actually be a complete tossed salad of the Motley Crue, all sorts of different fucking stances,
You see,
beliefs,
dude,
perspectives, opinions.
Exactly.
They'd be all over the place because that's life. That's how that works. Like, you're not gonna be black and white and so simple and obvious. Like, so transparent, like a single pane of glass.
Oh, dude,
You know,
that
like,
I'm sorry, but that really that stuff really ticks me off. Like, you must fit in your proper box right here.
Everyone's obsessed with labels right now. So like
exactly,
and that includes therefore people groups. This is why I have like I'm literally that's one of the places they get pissed off at me for, because I'm literally on both sides. I understand and I'm also on siding with both sides of the fence technically on that. Where it's like on one hand, yes, communalism, so communism, good community oriented stuff, right? Working together. That's a great thing to an extent. But the healthy, proper, balanced kind of communalism is birthed out of individualism.
Yes!
So, like, you know, I'm like, yes, but also no. Because, like, if you're going to go that far and be like, you know, like, now we have to put ourselves into, you know, check all these boxes and then be applied and or put ourselves into these barrels. You know, these categories, these labels, these groups of these people groups. And, you know, like, or else somehow we're like horrible, all these pejoratives, you know, it's like, then what? Like,
exactly,
I don't know what to say to that.
Neither do I, dude.
Moralically illogical. It's like, what? Where do you think I mean? This is how you got racism in the first place. They're like, let us label things.
Yeah, let's label things.
And let's create checklists. And if you fit these checklists,
then you're obviously this.
then you're a goddamn nigger. And then if you're over here, you know, you're a savage.
You're a savage.
Or you're a Native American. You're a savage.
No, you're a freaking windbag.
You're not human. But the humans are the sophisticated ones. They're the white people, you know, whatever. Like, that's literally how that happened, because that was that kind of communalism, which was label-based, checkbox-based. They had to fucking categorize people into these different categories, and then that led to supremacy. Like, this is literally how that works. It's that simple and basic. It's obvious. It's so stupid, you know?
Yes!
Why do you think we're seeing the same shit all over again right now? You know, like...
Gee, I wonder!
Barbarianism, or whatever you want to call it, you know, savagery, or whatever you want to call it. Because, like, yeah, like, that you could probably explain it that way. And I would argue it's probably pretty accurate. I don't like necessarily using either of those terms because of the obvious connotation from back in the day. But at the same time, I'm also the kind of person who acknowledges you shouldn't disuse a word just because at one point it was used in a really derogatory fashion.
All right. Excuse me a moment. I'm going to go get something to drink.
Yep.
Yeah, water.
He was going to say use the head, and then he decided to get water.
Yes, exactly.
I missed. Fuck.
You missed.
Damn it!
How dare you!
Fucker! You just get back up, pick up the pillow, sit back down, and do it again. Like, I gotta do it until I get it right.
You gotta do it until you get it right.
Yeah. But anyway, that's, you know. And that obviously can go into my whole thing against nationalism and patriotism, too, because it's becomes such a useful tool for division. Again, like we're still seeing rebirth right now and come to a head at the moment, because whether it is via nationalism and patriotism or cultural supremacy or whatever, right? Like, you know, what do they call that when you have a place like the Balkans again? What is that called again?
No idea.
Oh, like ethno-states and things like that. That's what I was thinking of. Ethnocentricity and stuff like that. Like, this is why we're back to that point across the world. It's getting more and more common all over the place, including in the United States, including in the UK, including in Germany and France and Spain and Portugal. Like, it's all over the world. China. Oh my God. Is because, like, we're just rebranding the same shit that happened in the 1800s. Before emancipation here, you know,
exactly.
And stuff like that. It's ridiculously stupid to where Ironically, actually, a lot of the black people are actually, especially inner city black people, they're fucking doing it themselves. Like, they're leading that charge. And it's like, how do you not see you're literally just doing the same thing and taking all the same steps that, that, like, the United States did and UK did and everything in the 1800s? Like,
Exactly.
Hello? What? Even through the 1960s, obviously, because that's when, the last, like, big cultural revolution and social revolution happened, especially when it came down to ethnicity and nationality and skin color and everything, pigmentation and everything.
Mm-hmm.
It's also fucking stupid that we're doing it all over again, and it's just like, here we go again with that, because everyone's obsessed with labels. They have to fit in so bad. They're like so obsessed with this. Like, one more only important thing into life there is to fit in, that they just have to keep fucking labeling themselves.
Exactly.
And going to sub-labels and sub-labels and sub-labels and sub-labels and sub-labels. And it's just like, how much of a stupid idiot can you be? Like,
exactly.
You're just repeating history all over again. It's the dumbest thing, And to defend it so fervently is even worse. It's like, it shows how little you use your mind.
Exactly.
Or how closed you are to the actual history that we can literally observe and look through in detail to this day. Like, it's just insane that they're hell-bent, bound and determined to go down that path. And it's like, why do you think there's so much of this, like, uprise around the world and that division? It's exactly that reason. But also the world powers, that's exactly what they fucking want. Because the more divided people are, that's why they push the labels, right? They push all these categorizations of people and groups, because they want that, because it benefits them in every single way.
Mm-hmm.
To take away more of our rights and to implement more control measures.
Exactly.
Sometimes institute martial law, whatever the fuck else, work towards autocracy so they can eventually get to dictatorship, because they want to run the whole world. And we're just commodities for them to exploit until we're no longer useful, and then they dispose of us, in whatever way. It's so fucking stupid, It's so obvious too. It's like, you're literally playing directly into their hands by buying into the label bullshit. Like, you shouldn't want to fit in that bad. Like, yeah, find your tribe, that's great, but that's not labeling yourself. That's not trying to pigeonhole yourself into a people group. You're just simply naturally going with the flow until you're just being yourself, until you naturally attract those like-minded people. That's how you find your tribe, or you become a part of it.
Exactly.
That's literally it. So you're not actually necessarily making an effort to find that tribe.
Yeah.
Because you trust and it's going to come to you just by you being yourself and expressing yourself the way you do.
Yeah.
That's it. Like, it's so you're not actually, it's not a way to label yourself or to pigeonhole yourself into a people group.
Exactly. It's
extremely stupid.
It is stupid, to say the least. I mean, the fact is, dude, what was it called? Fact is that, what was it called? That's part of the reasoning why I do things the way that I do things nowadays. I mean, basically, in and of itself, I'm not. One of the things why I dress in two different or several different styles in and of itself is because of the fact I don't see myself as definable. Yeah, right. I'm not.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even have those thought processes. I just am what I am. I am that I am. And so be it. I don't even know where that reference comes from, by the way. I am that I am.
Actually, it's one of the translations in Exodus 3:16.
Oh, okay. I thought it was like from a movie. I am that I am.
Yes.
I've always heard it said that way.
It is from a movie specifically. Yeah. I think it's from the what was I called? That movie, The Prince of Egypt.
Oh, I've never seen it. Anyway, yeah, so like I said, I didn't know where it came from. I just know I've heard of it, and I heard it said exactly that way by a character. I am that I am. But yeah, so that's, that is just the kind of way I look at or go about life.
Well, no kidding.
I just am what I am. So
that's exactly
just drift forward. I don't even have thoughts about like even what you said.
Well, dude, I mean, I like to project that stuff out to the populace. I do that because, well, basically, I believe in free expressionism.
Right. Yeah. Well, I mean, obviously, I do too. I'm expressive verbally. I'm not expressive in any other way.
Oh, I'm expressive definitely verbally, but I'm also expressive in my actions. Definitely.
Yeah. I would say I'm somewhat expressive in my actions, but not. It's like compared to the average person, it's probably pretty subdued. But like, I don't know. Because I'm not that active in that way either, especially socially. I'm not a social person, so it's like, it's a process to even. That the repaving process in our parking lot threw me off because all of a sudden I felt this vibration through my spine, my base of my spine, and I'm like coming through the floor. Oh, like, really. It feels a little funky. Yeah.
Yeah, it does.
Right up through like the base of the rib cage. It's like the kidney area. It's a really bizarre feeling. Yeah, that feels weird. Anyway,
Anyway.
what the fuck was I saying? Anyway, I'm not that social person. It does challenge me. It makes it more of a challenge though to like actually be willing to get out and like meet people. Besides, obviously, what we've kind of talked about before, like I think it was in episode 2 where we talked about the whole like relying on ourselves and trusting ourselves because you can't trust anybody else type of thing because like it's because of our experiences basically. So it really makes you jaded and cynical about people.
Well, I understand that. Yeah.
So it's like I'd rather not keep getting pissed off or like overwhelmed and upset or like depressed or whatever, cut up because I'm like, the fuck did I do again? Well,
no kidding.
It's like my whole life. That's like the main thing that happens is I start to finally form some new friends, and then all of a sudden, like it blows up because they're like, you're extremely fucking rude. You're like really insulting. You're being like really rude right now. I'm like, the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah.
And it's genuinely, I do not understand where the fuck that even comes from. Like when I get that reaction, I'm like, what? Like. I was just simply talking, I don't know where the fuck that came from.
No, dude.
It's like, and it happens so frequently to me.
Well, dude.
So it makes it even harder for me to be willing to socialize. It's like I don't want it to happen again because it does kind of fuck me up and
well, no kidding.
And I'm like, because I literally am like a kid or a dog who doesn't know what the fuck I did wrong. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? And like even if they point something out, I'm only more confused at that point because I'm like, what about that's rude? Like, I'm sorry, I genuinely don't get that. Like,
so dude, no, I'm
literally just talking or whatever. I'm like, well, I don't know what the fuck happened.
No, dude, I'll tell you this one flat out. There's a lot of people out there that are just, I'm sorry to say this, they're only focused on themselves.
Well, obviously, yeah.
And they don't really care about the fact that, all right, if they saw your, what is it called, podcast or whatever and shit like that.
He's not here.
Yeah, or if they saw ours as well.
He saw your phone. He doesn't exist. He's not here. He was
I don't exist. I'm not here.
I've been lying to you the whole time. He's not real. I hate to break it to you. We're all schizophrenic.
No, I'm just merely AI. I'm kidding you. Yeah. But
How dare you?
I couldn't help it, man. Couldn't help it.
Sure.
What was it? No, it's just that they watch our podcasts or heck, even your TV show or whatever.
I don't have a TV show.
All right, you're right.
My YouTube channel.
Yeah, your YouTube channel. Correct. Yeah. The fact is that they use that stuff and they watch that stuff and then they get butthurt over the fact that you had the audacity to speak something which offends them.
Right.
Like as if what was it called? There was some invisible 10 commandments about them in particular or whatever. Exactly. And it's stupid, man.
It is, yeah. It's all done. Like, people just want to be offended or upset these days, it seems like, or angry. It's like, why? Like, what's the point of it? You know?
Exactly.
Yeah. And obviously a part of it isn't just social trauma from my whole life experience so far, but
well, no kidding.
Obviously, I'm sure. In fact, I'm not sure. I'm 100% confident. So sure, no, I'm knowledgeable. But like, I guarantee it's the autism that I have yet to get diagnosed. But like I've told my therapists, and I've told my you and my mom and everybody. Like the reason why I say when I get my diagnosis, not if, is because I'm 100% confident that it's gonna come out with the diagnosis. Like it's like I just know that I know, which is one of the reasons why it's so important to me to get that test done. I'm still now like a month and a half down from them officially trying to get the approval from the state to cover it, to have state health insurance. And the state still hasn't said or done shit with it. So I'm still sitting here waiting again, even longer now. I was like telling my therapist yesterday, actually, I'm like, I'm willing to bet at this rate, if it keeps going the way it has this whole time, I won't probably have an appointment until, they probably won't finally approve it until like November of this year. And then I'll probably won't be able to get in for the next available appointment, which will probably be like June of next year.
Grand.
It will have been a year and a half long waiting
no kidding
period before finally getting the fucking thing done. By the way, I guess on that topic, what's really cool to me, I found out recently, is that it's also, I think I technically told you this before, but like just in general, since I've mentioned this before in a few, at least 1 or 2 episodes of the podcast, and I think one of them that went out, I think I mentioned it, that's at least going to get the test or whatever. And I mentioned the IQ test that they're going to do on it. But strictly formality, but at this point, they also feel like it'll really, like my therapist says, make sure, like we're going to make sure that you get that done too, because in that way, it'll like do a test of like how your brain processes information. Yeah. Right? Like, so it's not actually to test your intelligence or what you know. It's to literally get a better internal look at like what your brain processing centers are doing when you think about things or when you try to figure things out. But apparently they also, in autism tests, they also are actively testing for quote unquote learning disabilities. So that would be the dyslexia and the dyspraxia and the dyscalculia and the
all of these.
So amongst whatever other ones might exist. So I'm actually think that would be really cool. I'm really kind of happy about that too. I thought that was really cool because I'm like, okay, so you're going to cover like everything at once. And then because they deal with quote unquote neurodivergence and attention deficits included under that, it sounds like they will actually test for that as well. Yeah, in the process, and I'm assuming it's probably considered a type of learning disability itself as well, because it's kind of hard to learn, especially in a usual classroom setting or curriculum setting or test setting, because you're not, like, your brain just doesn't want to focus.
Exactly.
Especially on things you don't like or you're not really care about, or that frustrate you, whatever. But that's probably one of the parts I'm most excited for, because I'll finally get an update, like, literally to now, of, like, not only how severe it still is, which they know it's severe, but, literally on a scale. And then also, like, what form of...
autism.
Well, no, I'm talking about ADHD.
Oh.
ADHD that I supposedly have. Since apparently now it's considered a spectrum, which frustrates me, but, whatever. But I'm also excited for that because it's going to be an update. Because I got that diagnosis when I was like 4 or 5.
Yes.
So it'll almost be almost 30 years on.
Okay.
From that diagnosis point that I would actually get it. Because if I was 4 or 5, it's still the 90s. Yeah. When I got that diagnosis. And we were through at least two new DSMs already.
Yeah.
That replaced that one at that time. And also the understandings are like vastly different now than it ever was before. You know, like especially at that point. So as a result, I'm going to be able to get that too. And a lot of people might be like, okay, well, what's the point of mentioning any of this stuff? It's like a lot of people probably feel that way. But it's like, it's because like there's always the chance that there's going to be people that are like considering getting on a wait list to get get tested or whatever. And it's like, this is a great thing to be able to share then, because then you actually have a better insight as to like some of these testing places, the whole thing of things that they actually test for and that they're actively testing for while doing the overall autism test. So that like you literally get all your bases covered at once. And if you even had a diagnosis before, it'll be able to either confirm it or confirm it as legit or confirm it as a bad diagnosis, a misdiagnosis, or they'll be able to even confirm like how it's developed or changed over time, so like the severity or whatever else, right?
Exactly.
They'll be able to do that. Like there's a lot of different use cases for it that's really good. And obviously I would think you should be more excited if you're going to get that test than not, because also it can help you potentially getting better insurances or better coverage or whatever else. And you're also your doctors, the people around you, your coworkers, your bosses, your family, whatever else, therefore will have something tangible and physical copy of literally your diagnosis and like any other material that helps them along, try to figure out how to adapt or like their understanding of you basically. And why
even more so than that, it can actually help you in social situations.
Right, yeah. Like, you know, I'm gonna be having it to being like, look, I have a diagnosis of these, especially autism, but also with, you know, attention deficit and other things. So like some of the things that you're getting mad at me about are literally parts of that. Like that's just a part of who I am. So like as a result, like it's going to naturally cause certain things that like the average minded person is gonna absolutely just be like,
well, no kidding, that
having havoc wreaked in their brain about it that frustrates them, because it's like which frustrates me, because like,
well, no kidding,
there's part of that communication issue or barrier, you know, like
exactly, so, dude. I mean,
like I don't. What do you want from me?
Well, dude, I mean, even I understood that. I mean, I've listened to you, man. I've listened to you, bitch to no end about people and their communication issues.
Yes.
And quite frankly, man, I can see where that can actually help.
Yeah.
And stuff.
Theoretically. That's the thing. Theoretically, it can help.
Theoretically, it can help. Yeah.
Because some people are still going to be arrogant enough to be like, you can't weaponize and use your label like that. That's not how it works. You shouldn't matter. Like, you know, like nothing changes, because like then that just like that's just weak. Like, why would you do that? Like that makes you, you know, like it's like you're just playing victim Olympics now. It's like,
just shut up.
Like. It's literally a way to help even myself better understand why I work the way I work, for fuck's sake. Not just your case, for you. What was the hope?
Okay, dude.
But like, it's that ego again.
Well, dude, I mean, the thing that ticks me off.
They don't care because they just want it the way they want it, you know? And it's like.
Dude, I mean, I'm sorry, but all right, I was always taught when I was growing up, ask for help. I was always taught that.
Yeah.
I mean, is that now a crime or something? Like what?
Yeah,
help me here.
What's funny about that is that I've always been taught that too, ever since I was little. But you usually got your ass handed to you for doing so. So in other words, they would basically trap you to where it's like, yeah, no, you need to ask for help. Like you shouldn't hesitate to ask, because that's how you learn. And then it's like, okay, cool. And then as soon as you ask for help, they like almost sometimes you literally get punished for it.
Exactly.
They'd thrash you or they insult you for it, and they'd like tear you down and be like, it's like, this person just don't try. Like, why don't you act? Like, what do you not understand about this? And it's like, you told me you're supposed to ask for help because that's how you learn, and then you immediately get mad at me for it. Fuck you. Like,
yeah, exactly. That's what literally makes me not trust you as a person. Jeez.
So like that's why I usually a lot of times I hesitate, and then sometimes, you know, I won't ask for help when I know I need to, because I'm like, I like that, and then also I don't know, I can't trust myself to understand what the fuck they're gonna explain. Like, you know, that happened when I had that 1.5 day working at OFOSA, Oregon Friends of Shelter Animals. I had one point where I was dealing with the dog harnesses. I already asked for help figuring out how the fuck to put them on correctly. Like 2 different times, because like the first time, they did that and they explained it to me. I thought really well. They even showed me they could slowly put it on, how to do it. I'm like, okay, cool. But then I'm trying to figure it out and they're still there. So I'm like, can you like show me again? Because I'm not like, I don't think this doesn't seem or feel like I'm doing this right. And then they was like, you're not. And then I do it again and they do it even more detailed explanation, slower, more simple. And then they did it even slower in the physical sense. And then the dog basically got out of its harness and I picked it up before it could get away on the road and I brought it back and they got mad at me for it. I'm like, dude, like, I already asked you guys to explain it to me twice. We took like 20 straight minutes to do the 2 different explanations. And I still apparently couldn't get it right. Like, I don't know what it is. I can't figure it out. Like, I'm sorry. And I know it's technically unforgivable because these are, you're supposed to protect these animals and make sure they're okay. This reflects bad on you guys, and I get it. But, like, I don't get what I'm not getting.
Exactly.
Like, and that's why I didn't ask again. Like, well, you need to. And I'm like, but I just had you guys explain it to me 2 different ways in grave detail, slowly and simply, and even show me physically slowly how to do it. And my brain still can't figure it out. Like, what? So you want me to ask a 3rd time? Like, eventually, it's just like, you're going to have to tell me just like, okay, don't even try to walk the dogs. Because like, or at least always ask another employee to help you put them on. Like, just have them put the harness on first for you. And then, go walk the dogs, right? But then that's still time consuming and whatever else. So it's like, it's still frustrating for everybody else. Because then that means that I am less capable of doing, or I'm capable of doing less work in a day than everyone else around me is. Because then they have to take on some of my responsibility. It's like, this is the thought process you go through as an overthinker too, right? You go through every scenario, and it's like, this is why I don't want to ask a 3rd time. Because it's like, everyone's just going to get fucking pissed off. I'm going to get pissed off at myself.
Yes.
And you're going to get, and I'm probably going to get a little pissed off if you get pissed off at me. Even though I understand why you're pissed off at me, but that's why it makes me more angry at you for it, because like, literally what am I supposed to do? Like, I don't even understand what I'm not getting about this. To this day, I still cannot for the life of me figure out a dog harness. It's like a super simple, obvious thing. And I literally, no matter what I've tried, I've never figured it out. And I can't get it right. I'm like, I don't know what the fuck's wrong with me in fucking harnesses. They're so simple, and I cannot, for the life of me, wrap my brain around it. I literally cannot begin to understand how it works or what to do. It's the strangest thing. It's like literally impossible for me. And then there's like some other thing that's just like that. That's arguably slightly more simplistic. That literally I've tried off and on for years, my whole life, and I've never been able to figure it out or get it to work. But it's literally more simple than a harness. And I just can't do it, Exactly. It's super weird. It's like, and then, people always get made fun of when they do the the bunny ear tying of shoes. That's all I've ever known how to do. Like, my mom had to teach me to do that at like 5 or 6 because I rarely ever wear shoes. To this point in my life, I rarely wear shoes. I hate footwear so fucking much. So, like, I've always worn flip-flops pretty much when I had to wear footwear all times a year because it's easy and it's far more comfortable.
Exactly.
Because my feet aren't in a prison, in a sauna, so of their own heat and sweat. My toes aren't being pinched together and all this other stupid bullshit. Anyway, so, that's a part of it too, I'm sure, of why I was so delayed in it. But then also, like, I had tried with shoes for years and for a year or 2 off and on for like school specifically, right? Especially PE and stuff, because you have to have that.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, and also Camp Rivendell, because you do all this outdoor stuff, and obviously for safety reasons, legally they have to wear shoes.
Yes.
So I'm like trying to figure out the normal way to tie, and I just couldn't do it. My mom then tried to slowly walk me through it, and she did, and I couldn't figure it out. And so she's like, okay, well then let's do this. And she did the bunny ears. Instantly clicked. And ever since then, I've only done the bunny ears tying of shoes. Because that's the only way I know how. Like, to this day, I know if I tried to figure out how to do it the normal way, I would just get extremely confused immediately. because I'm like, I don't. My brain is just like, what the fuck is this? You know, literally, it would not be able to comprehend it. I'm like, I don't know what the fuck I'm looking at or what I'm touching. Like, this is weird.
Weird.
This doesn't compute.
It does not compute. Yes,
it's just such a weird. Like, I'm thinking about it right now, and I'm getting anxiety because I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm literally watching somebody do it. And I'm like, how does that make sense? Like, what do you mean? You know, and
so all my life, man,
Yeah.
I've only known 2 ways to tie shoes. 2 ways.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, the bunny ears.
Yep.
The other one is the bunny ears with an extra knot.
Yeah. I recently found out that I apparently cannot do braids correctly. Like, I think the way I do it is fine. Like, it's clearly gonna be a braid. It's gonna work.
Yeah.
Because it's simple enough. You know, just crisscrossing basically. You know,
Exactly.
threads of hair, and then you put the scrunchie around it, or hair pretty as we called scrunchies. But when I was growing up, hair pretties.
Hair pretty.
And so I was doing that, trying to help my mom with that at one point when she was still dealing with her wrist and her broken shoulder,
Mhm.
or sprained wrist and her broken shoulder issues. And she got so pissed off at me so fast. And she's like, fine, fuck you. I'm going to do it myself. And she did it. And I'm just like, through pain. And I'm just like, what? You know? And in my mind, I was just that she was being too picky. But, like, apparently, you know, she's just like, you know, I don't know. And I'm just like, just fucking what? Like, let me do it. I have it. Like, you know, I don't know. It's dumb as fuck. But anyway, so yeah, but again, how simple that is. And apparently I would piss off most women if I tried to braid their hair. And I kind of feel
dude,
like my heart kind of sinks a little bit about that, just thinking about myself future sight of like being a dad, you know, for like a daughter. I would feel heartbroken if she wouldn't let me do it. Because I'm like, I don't want to do that though.
No.
You know?
I'm just going to tell you this flat out, man. I'm just going to tell you this. That is an endless labyrinthian exercise that must not ever be done.
Your traditional male.
No, dude, that isn't even it. That isn't even it, man. That doesn't even come close to addressing it.
Oh,
the fact is
I can't believe you.
No, dude, I'm deathly afraid of doing stuff like that. I'm legitimately deathly afraid.
Why is that though?
Because, man, they will say, the women, they will say this. No, you're doing it wrong. You're doing this. You're supposed to do that.
Okay, how about this? How much experience do you have with it?
None.
Exactly.
None whatsoever.
Exactly. Fucking owned. Whereas I have at least some experience.
Well, dude,
minimal.
I mean, you have minimal, okay? Minimal.
But I mean, it's funny though because you bring up the braids, right? You're like, okay, well, apparently.
Well, man, no one ever asked me to do that, man. No one ever once did.
That's not what I'm referring to, though. What I'm saying is, like, I'm trying to tie it back. No pun intended. I'm trying to tie it back into tying of shoes, right? Or the dog harness, because it's so simple, and yet apparently you can only ever do it wrong. You know, if you're like me or whatever.
Yes.
It's like it shows you that it is some no pun intended here either, actually, but it's a perfect term for this. There's related threads that tie them together. It does. It literally ties them together, so they're related. It's like there's something about tying things up that are like that kind of thing. You know,
exactly.
With strands of strings of things or threads that my brain just like is like, you know, like
why? Why are you this way? Why?
And I know it should be so simple, but it's just like my brain's just like, I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah, I have no idea what I'm doing here.
It should be so beautifully simple. My brain's just like, I am retarded.
Exactly.
There's a decent distance between retardation and autism, and I think I probably have both. Sometimes I feel like I might be a bit both. When I say I'm an idiot, I really do mean it when I say it. Like,
exactly.
I tend to be a really stupid idiot sometimes. I really
exactly.
Do. And I wish I could say otherwise, but it's just my brain just works in an extraordinarily bizarre way that I can't comprehend. I'm just like, I don't know why my brain is the way it is.
Well, no kidding.
That's actually a frustrating thing for me too. A lot of times, it's like I'll be asked to explain it, something like function of my brain. I'm like, I don't even know how it works. Like, I've been trying to figure that out my whole life, and it just pisses me off because I can't comprehend it. Like, I don't know what the fuck's going on there. Could you tell me? Tell me.
No.
You know, like, and I think I'm more irritated by it. I was like, I genuinely don't know what to tell you because I can't even tell myself because I don't even identify it.
Well,
like,
dude, I mean,
think about it though. Seriously, it's as simple as a dog harness.
Yes.
Tying shoes and braiding hair, and it's just like somehow it's so simple. Your brain and yourself know it's painfully simplistic. Like a kid with cerebral palsy, I genuinely believe would be able to easily do it. And I'm just sitting here like, I have no idea.
Yeah, exactly. I have no idea.
I don't understand. I don't even know why. I have no idea even why I'm having issues with it. Like,
no, better yet, it's more like, what are you?
I genuinely, I so wish I could figure out why those things are so difficult for me, but I can't. It's one of my
I get it, man.
My biggest struggles in life is like trying to accept my brain and me as the way my brain and me are. But it's so difficult because I also want everything to be rational and logical, and that's just not a thing. It's not a thing. The function of my brain or the way I am what I am that makes any rational logical sense. So I'm just like left pissing myself off trying to like why it's so annoying.
No, dude, I'm with you on that one, man. I'm completely with you on that one. Jeez.
So literally that's another reason why I'm like 100% confident that I will get an autism diagnosis, because like that is the most logical explanation for that. Like, there's otherwise what even slightly rational, grasping at straw explanation can you pluck from the air for it? You can't, unless it is literally mental retardation. There's just like a portion in your brain that processes this stuff, and it's just like, I don't exist. There is, let's see, I'm wasting away.
Yes, I'm wasting away.
You know, the whole, what is the fuck? I can't remember all the lines that they said in fucking Emperor's New Groove about, you know, being easy by getting old. So, just the colorful descriptions are great. I want to refer to that. That's the best thing to do is wasting away.
Exactly.
I wish
I'm wasting my weight.
Yeah.
Casper.
You know what's funny? If I actually lost, it's a thought I had. It's just a dumb thought, but like when you lose a bunch of your weight, your body weight, and your fat, right? And you're burning all your fat off.
Yeah.
Technically, there's a chance you might burn the fat off that is your brain. Because your brain is literally fat. It's a giant fat globule. Is what it is. It's made of fats.
Yeah, I'm very well aware.
It's entirely cholesterol, which is a type of fat. Yeah, and it's just like, imagine if you like go a little too hard, you literally could actually like melt your brain literally into like a fine oil. And you could fry an egg inside of your brain. In a way, or just boil it.
Wow.
Like, in a way, it's possible. I feel like, right? So it's like, makes you wonder. I mean, that is kind of how rabies works, if I recall. Like, because it's a brain infection, you know, and it gets so hot that's why it makes you do all these weird things before you die. So in a way, it is literally the brain is actively melting into oil in your head with rabies. It's not a fun time. So like, it does show it's also very possible for it to literally do that. So it's like, it makes you wonder if you could actually go too hard and lose too much weight to the point where it will literally burn your fucking brain or burn your brain into oil.
That's an interesting thought, man. I would have never thought of that.
Yeah. So it also makes me wonder now that I think about it, because there's certain like cows, I think sometimes people will eat the brains of cows or like sheep or whatever, and it's like, if you think about that, how does it not just melt since it is just fat? Like, you know what I mean? When you fry it or whatever, it's like it should just turn into oil. Like at a certain point, you render it to oil, and then I don't know, like it just makes you wonder about it, you know?
Well, no kidding.
But also, if you did render a brain into oil, and then you used it to fry stuff, would it make you smarter?
No.
Come on, there's so much intelligence and sentience in the brain. Like, what? Like,
I'm not even gonna.
It would
touch
make you
that.
more aware, right? It would make you more
No.
your senses would heighten.
No.
Like a brain of a dog. If you ate something fried in a melted brain of a dog, would it give you like 500 times better sense of smell like they have? You know, like it makes you wonder. In a way, in a basic sense, it actually does make basic logical sense that would be the case, though. But in a childlike sense. But yeah, it's like, yeah, but it's more complex than that, unfortunately. Now, however, it might kill you.
Yes.
Give you a bunch of prions and other things. Yay. Where is this going to? Down the drain. That's where it's going.
Yeah, exactly.
Right down the drain.
Dude, all right. Yeah, the fact is that I'm
getting so fucking hot right now.
Yeah, no kidding. The fact is that these labels in and of itself, they just set up a means for people to make differences between one another.
That's the whole point of the label, or the categorization of people or people groups is to separate themselves into their own groups that have their own innate like check boxes checked off. That makes this group this or whatever else, which is of course part of the problem.
It is part of the problem. If people would learn to focus on what is it called, values, as opposed to what a proper group is or whatever, then basically there wouldn't be a need for categorization, much less a need for disputing differences.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. And also, again, those differences, and emphasizing your differences to that degree to create this weird communalism groupings, is also exactly how you form supremacy. That's exactly how supremacy breeds, because people get obsessed with kind of like has been happening for the last decade and a half straight, which is that people are like treating like it's a sporting competition.
Exactly.
In the Olympics, and they have to fucking be superior to the other groups.
Exactly.
Or like have things more correct, which is still a form of superiority complex.
It is,
like,
yeah.
They have to be more intelligent. They have to know more. They have to have more experience. They have to be a bigger victim. They have to be
better this,
more successful,
or
have more credentials or something. And it's like, this is literally textbook supremacy at that point.
Exactly.
Because you're so ingrained and engrossed in the identity of your labels, of your people groups, that you're literally now weaponizing what you find to make you a better, superior group to that of insert whatever groups here. Well, and it's the dumbest thing in the world.
Well, actually, so dude, I'll tell you this one, and this is the idea that I'm bringing it full circle to. What needs to happen is there needs to be a culture shift.
Yeah.
A total culture shift where people are focused on the inherent good of others.
The character.
Yeah. Exactly. As opposed to the label, dehumanizing this, and so on and so forth.
Exactly, yeah. I always want to bring it back to this. I always do this every fucking time that we talk about those things that are points like that are made, whether it's you, me, or other people. Is I always want to go back to Hitler and be like, look, like what you said last time, actually. Exactly. Right? Let me explain. It's like it's the separating the art from the artist, so to speak, or you're decompartmentalizing, or you're separating the good from the bad in people.
Exactly.
Because you're able to recognize, you're open-minded enough, and you recognize that humans are innately complex. They're obviously going to have some are going to have a lot of issues, some a lot more than others, and some are going to be kind of fucked up more than others in terms of their views of their beliefs. Like a Hitler, obviously, nobody's going to try to say it's like, oh, he was very defensible because he had some good qualities or thoughts, and it's like, sure, yeah, okay, some people are going to do that, but that's not what that is. For most of us, it's literally saying is that we have the ability to separate his majority negatives, like really horrible, heinous stuff, from his positives. Exactly. He absolutely had that. Literally everyone, has value to contribute. Things you can learn from them. So even a Hitler or a Stalin or a Pol Pot, or
this person,
as much as they don't want to say it, Salvador Allende, or not Salvador Allende, sorry, Pinochet, Augusto Pinochet.
Yes,
I very much meant him. I don't know. Very literally the opposite, literally in every way of Salvador Allende. That was completely. Pretend I never said his name. Augusto Pinochet. Whatever. All these horrible people. Mugabe, I think, is one of them that was really fucking bad in Africa. Like, you have all these horrible, heinous figures like that. Henry Kissinger, modern day, or whatever, where they're just these horrible, Jeffrey Epstein, these horrible, terrible people. That,
exactly.
If you actually look at the full picture and complexity and web that makes these people who they are, you're inevitably going to find certain things that they're right about, and or certain things that are positive or valuable, despite how fucking otherwise just majority terrible, evil, unforgivable people they are.
They were,
and things they believed or whatever, and or did. There's a everyone still, even those people have a positive thing to be able to contribute.
Exactly.
Or a positive thing, rather multiple positive things. No matter how much of a tiny minority it might be of the content of that person's character, they still have value to give and to learn from and to glean. So, yeah, because I always think of Hitler. I think also because I relate to him in the sense of he knew he was very severely mentally ill.
Yeah.
And for my eldest brother Nathan especially, but then also me as a kid, I'm looking at it through that lens.
Yeah.
And that's why actually I don't just have sympathy, I have full empathy for him in that department, because he was so intelligent, he understood, and he literally watched himself mentally spiral. He knew he was fucking going downhill mentally. He knew he already had a mental illness the whole time. And it was getting slowly worse, and then eventually really quickly worse.
Exactly.
But he was also actively trying his damnedest because he knew that, and he was watching it. He also knew how the basic human psychology and everything, right? And that it's obviously a brain fault. He's like, okay, I need to figure out a way to cure this, or to stop it at least, so I can slowly then that stalls it enough that I hopefully will be able to have enough sanity to be able to walk it back.
Exactly.
Figure out how to reverse it. But he was actually adamant about that, and so it's that was something I can't help but empathize fully with him with.
Well, no kidding.
Because there arguably is no more of a tortured soul in this life that you could ever live than somebody like that.
Exactly.
That recognizes that they're mentally declining and that they already have severe mental illness, and it's just getting worse and worse and worse. They have to watch their mind take control to do the most stupid stuff. And they literally torture them, sometimes to death, like him. It's just you unless you experience that, you cannot begin to put yourself in those shoes and imagine how much torture
it is.
Pure unadulterated torture that is. People talk about, religious people, especially Christians, always talk about purgatory and being the worst thing in the world.
That is purgatory.
They don't understand that is literally what that is. It's not worse than how they describe that, because it's a literal life, internal life of that torture. And it's just it's better to not know or believe or see yourself in your mental state and how it declines and know that you're mentally ill than it is to know and be viscerally aware to where you're literally watching.
Exactly.
That's also why I empathize too, is because I was lucky enough to understand it myself and see it and actually beat it back. I literally went to war with my own mind, my own brain, and I won. By the time I was 13, I kicked both supposed schizo symptoms, which I know was actually from overwhelm, it wasn't actually from schizoaffective, and then the majority of my mood issues, or not my mood issues, but the mania I had.
Yeah.
So I definitely had bipolar mania, but again, I still think that was also a result directly of the environment I was in. And just being extensively overwhelmed. So my brain just it's too much stimuli at once that's all collected inside my body and my mind that it can't go to sleep. And so it has to expulse it somehow, and then the hyperactivity comes into play. At that point, I was a kid where I literally threw myself off walls in the psych ward every single day, the entire day. I would dead sprint up and down a pointless hallway and literally throw myself off walls. That was literally the kid who bounced off walls. I was that hyper. Wow. And I know that's where a lot of that came from. So it's just because it's the only way my body knew how to expulse that energy enough to at least sleep. So it's like, you put all that together, and it's like I totally get it though, because I was able to beat that by then, and I knew at the time how like fortunate and lucky I was in that sense, because most people, even if they think it might be possible, they have the thought of it, that are mentally ill, they're never going to try it because they don't believe it's possible, and it's just like, so, and then the ones that do, sometimes they lose that war, like Adolf Hitler. So it's just like, and then that's the worst torture of all. So it's just like you sit there and you're like,
what's happening.
Yeah, and so, I have to empathize with them there, but then also at the same time, like a lot of the modern medicine loving people, pharmaceutical medicine people, they should admit that Adolf Hitler and his scientists were actually a source of a lot of modern medications that people use now that actually help them stabilize or whatever. It literally, without them doing that, they wouldn't, we would have at least taken probably decades longer to even get to that.
I'm very well aware of that.
And so it's like, you're really fortunate and you literally have Hitler to thank for it. It's kind of wild to say, but it's true. And it's
Exactly.
just like, again, it's that whole thing of like, that's why you have to separate the good from the bad in a person,
Exactly.
Because, or the things that the value that they give, because everyone has value to give, no matter how majority heinous they might be.
Exactly. I mean, the fact is, man, that this is partially why I do things the way that I do them and stuff in relation to religious circles and stuff, because honestly, I want there to be some sort of change in religious circles.
Yeah.
And the basically the thing that I see the problem in and of itself regarding this in general is people are way too focused on differences.
Absolutely, yeah.
So
100%.
Differences, and especially like HOA differences between a community and a person who is in what is it called, who has their own land and stuff like that.
Yeah.
The people focus way too much on the negatives and stuff like that, and they don't even care to address the other underlying issues.
Right.
So,
yeah, absolutely.
That's partially why I do believe in absolute truth, essentially.
Yeah.
In absolute truth, in this case, I would look at it as fact, essentially.
Right.
But even then, facts are
subjective.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I always like to point out to people, which, of course, majority society rejects staunch as adamantly as possible, which is that there is such a thing as alternative facts, because it literally, everyone has their own reality. Everyone has their own beliefs. Everyone has their own experiences and perspectives. And therefore, everyone's going to have differing facts. Sometimes they'll be on the same topic and they'll be completely opposed to each other. But like, it's literally, it doesn't change them from potentially being facts. Like, it's going to be, there's going to be confrontation and conflicts no matter what, because of that reason.
No kidding.
So like, like there is truth, absolute truth, supposedly, but at the end of the day, they're going to actually be very different depending on who you are and what you believe and what your truth is. That's why there's such a thing as your truth. People get mad about that a lot. It's like, I can get why you might feel really some type of negative way about that, and I totally get that. But at the same time, that was super redundant. I just said the same thing over and over. The point is that like, you actually will, it is reality. You do have conflicting truths. Like, you're going to have people who are going to say this is the absolute truth here, and for them it is, and then vice versa. It can be on the exact same thing. Like, and it doesn't make either of them falsehoods or untrue. They are true. Absolutely. It's just that
is if they deal with it on the correct scale.
Which itself is subjective, what people would determine that to be, of course. So.
Well, no kidding.
Yeah. Like, obviously, me with you, or literally anybody out there, right? Like, or you with anybody out there. you are going to have our absolute truths about certain topics, and probably odds are we're going to absolutely be in contention with it with each other on those. Because that's life. That's going to happen. Never.
Yeah, exactly.
Not everybody's the same. Not everybody has the same experiences. Everybody has a unique experience, and blah, right? They have different perspectives. So as a result, you're always going to have differences.
Yeah.
No matter how akin you are, how much you click, and how much you agree with each other on a lot of things, at the end of the day, you're also going to have a ton of fucking differences. Exactly. Including polar opposite. You understand polar opposite on certain things. Because, that's life. That's how that works. Go figure.
Yeah.
But, guess what? Even though it's a fact and an absolute truth, there is a fuckload of people who deny that out there. Exactly. And insist that's not true. Because they're offended by it, literally. Because they just either can't comprehend it, or they're so uncomfortable by the concept of that being true that they have to reject it. Just by its very nature of discomfort. Intense discomfort. So it's really stupid, but it's true. And it's technically therefore contradictory. Because how can you have two truths and two absolute truths / facts on one topic on the exact same thing, but they're completely contrary to each other, right? It is contradictory by nature, but that's also life itself is innately, unfortunately, contradictory, therefore technically illogical. Because contradiction will always be innately illogical. Because you can't logically explain this. Because they're opposed. So it's one of the facts of life that I can't fucking stand because it drives me nuts.
Well, no kidding.
I accept it, but it also pisses me off.
Well, dude, I
want to make sense of everything.
I think that's partially why life brought us together in this case, or as friends in this regard. Because me being the religious nutball over here,
the religious Jew, the juice. Me being the proud atheist, agnostic atheist, yeah. Yep. Technically, I think a lot of people would consider, especially more Christian-minded people, would consider me a staunch atheist.
Yeah.
AKA one of the type of atheist that they actually can't stand the most because they think that I'm a dick about it. I'm okay. I barely talk about it unless it's prompted.
Yeah.
Or in this case, this right here, this is prompted because you prompted it.
Yeah.
So we can set
exactly.
Make the example in complete sense.
Well, the fact is
of the contrast between us. Yeah.
Well, the fact is though that in and of itself, life brought us together because of the fact that basically we are polar opposites, and
also painfully similar too.
Exactly.
We're literally
cut from the same cloth here.
Yeah, and it's funny because that's cut from the same. We say cut from the same cliffside.
Yeah.
No, cut from the same quarry.
Yes.
But we're two completely different types of
stones. Exactly.
You don't have the bloody stones, mate. You don't have the stones.
How dare you?
You don't have the bloody stones. Yeah,
But
yeah,
it's one of those things that I believe that, what was it called? Life gave us this chance because we can do good with it, essentially.
Right. Yeah, I agree. I'm going to get up and get water and go pee.
Go for it.
So I can immediately go pee again. I've already drank 40 ounces of water again. To refill my bladder. Take it away, Bullseye!
Okay, fine.
Or just awkwardly sit there in the live stream and don't fucking say anything. just make the most awkward fucking poses and faces the whole time.
Okay. But yeah, ultimately, the fact is that I believe we as people need to learn to focus on the content of our characters as opposed to this nonsense
for your phone, right?
that causes people to focus on differences. I mean, when you're focused on differences, as a result, what ends up occurring? People end up destroying one another, gaslighting. What else is there? Hurting others. It's one of those things that causes people to, it's one of those things that causes what was it? People to destroy one another. And that is literally what causes war to be a thing. When you're focused on differences, then it destroys the what people want most of all, which is peace and free love. It's and here he comes.
And there he goes. And he got hit by a truck.
But yeah.
We'll see you next time on the Roadkill Derby.
Roadkill Derby. Exactly.
Well, partner, hopefully this Roadkill Derby this time won't be as anticlimactic as last time, as the first and only contestant showed up and immediately got hit by a truck and died.
Exactly.
Normally these events take at least 20 minutes of time, but last time it took no more than 8.5 seconds. Yeah.
So,
but no, I totally agree with that about, like, again, content to character. It's actually ironic that a lot of people who harp about, it's the content of character that matters, all the time. They also are guilty of exactly what they say, of the same thing that the people that say that to are being said that to for, because they also don't judge by the content of the character or whatever. And so they automatically go and do stupid shit that is not actually what they're saying you're supposed to be doing, just by writing the content of somebody's character. A lot of the time they'll still judge by other stupid shit, like if you're not Christian or something. And it's like, bud, have you ever heard the term hypocrite? Because that's you on that poster.
Exactly.
Right, for that definition, because fuck's sake. You can't just harp about, content of character and to the people who aren't doing that, while immediately then defying that and not doing it yourself in certain instances, just because, like, well, I believe that the Bible tells me to do that. It actually doesn't, but also...
Actually, yeah, it really doesn't.
Like, that still makes you a hypocrite, and therefore, like, you're not really someone to be trusted with, because it shows content of your character is also shaky at best.
Exactly.
So, like... try again. And yeah, I would argue that, especially modern day, being a hypocrite can be a very innately human trait. But
it is very innately human.
And it's very difficult to kick certain hypocrisies to the side, exactly for actually probably the same reasons that they're hypocritical there.
Yeah.
But, at least in certain instances, I feel like that, you shouldn't be allowed to be hypocritical, because there's a lot worse places to be. There's some places that are a lot, I guess, less bad to be hypocritical in life, and that is not one of them. That is one of the ones that's the worst to be in, because, like, you got to practice what you preach, which is actually technically part of what that stands for, the whole content of character. So if you do that, well, you're not going to be a hypocrite in that department, because it's the most important things like that you're actually not going to be practicing hypocrisy in. Being like that is an important thing. But it's funny because also, I guess, like, I feel like I'm not usually judgmental at all, because I don't, like, even think judgmentally about people. Like, literally, like, if somebody strikes up a conversation with me, I just have the conversation with that person. Like, it doesn't, even if I've never seen them before in my life. Like,
Exactly.
I genuinely don't care. Like, there's not a thought that enters my head about, like, do I know you? Or, like, I don't know you, or I've never seen you. Like, because it's just not why would I have that thought?
Well, no kidding.
Like, it doesn't fucking matter,
Exactly.
I think that's also why, again, I have that cliche guy trait about, like, not thinking to ask for someone's name. Because it's just not, it's literally not a thought that ever enters my head. I don't care. It's just,
exactly.
Even if you hit it off with somebody and you're talking or you hang out a bunch, like we did at the start, I think it took about a month before we actually got each other's names, and I think it was given to each other by, like, Tiffany or something like that.
Exactly.
Not even each other, because neither of us thought of it.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
You just click and you hit it off, and it doesn't matter, because, like, that's just why? Why would you think about it? Like, it doesn't matter. That, like, sometimes contextually, if you refer to somebody, it's like, yeah, that guy, and you're like, Yeah, you ask what their name is. Like, I don't know. But that that one guy, that's like
yeah, it looks like this.
yeah, that one. It's like it's like
Well, dude, I mean,
if I show up dead tomorrow, thank God. No.
I literally think this, man. That and you pointed this out. This is a legitimate guy thing. We don't think to ask those certain things.
Yeah, it's a very well known thing actually about men. Is that it's just a natural like the boys thing or the guys thing. Like there's so many skits out there where it's literally like that's kind of the premise of it. It's like they're like guys who meet when they like either move in next door with like their wife or something like that.
Exactly.
And then they get invited to like a Super Bowl party or some other cliche or something like that. And then they chat and they talk and they have a good time. And they make all these stupid jokes and shit. And then next thing you know, like that happens for months and months straight. And then all of a sudden they get asked by their wife who's like, it's like, you should know their name by now, right? And it's like,
no.
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 You just know them by, like insert person's here's wife or husband or whatever, Because it's like, who cared? Or the neighbor across the street. Remember that? The neighbor guy next door?
Yeah.
That's just why those terms exist, because it's like it's not something we really care to find out. Exactly. It doesn't matter. All that matters is that you have a good time with that person.
Exactly.
That's literally it. Like it's just
dude,
it's great.
I mean, honestly, that's the way that I am with literally the neighbor across the street. Yeah, the neighbor across the street. I don't even know their names, man.
Yeah.
I don't know their names. I know the guy's married and he has a child. That's it.
Yep. And that they live across the street.
Yeah, that's it. That's it.
Yeah. So it's always funny to be able to do that because it does sound kind of weird, but at the same time you're like, but it's normal for us,
It's normal
again,
for us.
I mean, actually, it's very childlike because like children do the same thing. They don't think to ask each other's names.
Yeah,
usually.
they just don't.
Not unless it's like a huge point of emphasis by their parents. Like it's respectful to learn their names first. You always want to ask their name. But like outside of that, if they don't do that, then like you don't even know your friends' names on the street or like in the neighborhood for sometimes years before you finally learn it.
Exactly.
And it's by accident. Like you don't even fucking ask for it. It's just like all of a sudden you overhear it and you're like, oh, is that your name? and then of course the formality comes in from the other kid. It's showing you it's also a human trait.
Exactly.
The formality aspect. Because then it's like, okay, what was your name? And then they learn each other's names. Like literally can take years. It's actually really fucking funny how that works.
It is.
So it's
it
like
is
it's the same thing with us because like most guys, it's like why? At least in the U.S., it's like why should we care? Like it's literally not even a thought that ever enters your mind unless our minds unless somebody literally prompts it in us. And I'm like, that's a good point. I don't remember.
Exactly.
But then like we'll be like, oh well, and we'll just describe it as that more convoluted, like considered to be Midwestern style way. Because it's just like, oh well.
Oh well.
Anyway, I'm gonna hang out with him. Bye.
Yeah, I'm gonna go hang out with him. Bye.
I'm gonna go to the arcade with him. I'm gonna go see the Blazers game with him or whatever. Yeah.
Exactly.
And you still probably won't even think at that point anymore because you're just with each other to ask each other's names. So you still don't know.
Exactly.
But that was we had a great time together. You didn't know their names still? No, I didn't even think of
it. didn't even enter my mind.
Don't care.
don't care. You just know him.
He's just an awesome dude. That's all.
Yeah, he's just an awesome bro, dude.
Yeah. Yep. That's why it's like bro. With the bros. Yes, I'm with the bros. I don't know their names. It's weird how it shows us a biological difference too, because women always make it a point to like learn each other's names.
Yes, and
even the names of like people they know they're never going to really probably be around that much, like the spouses of their girlfriends and whatever else, And it's just like, why is that a biological thing? Like, think about how weirdly, seemingly illogical and random that is. Like, it's completely irrationally arbitrary. Like, why is there this built-in biological difference where, like, mechanically in the mind, women think it important for the formality of knowing each other's names pretty much immediately, whereas bros just, like, don't give a fuck. It's like there's no neural network in the brain that in men that like even allows for the thought process of what's your name.
Yeah.
Not unless they're like in business, because then they have to do it. So it's so ingrained in them to do it. But like, yeah, because they're a bigger business person or something.
Well, dude, I mean, I think, all right, so I'll tell you this one, and I'll tell you what my thought process is.
Yeah.
They ask the name because when in business, bad things can happen.
Well, obviously it's a part of it, yes. But it's also because they want to know their employees' names or whatever. Or,
well, no kidding.
Or they want to know their clients' names, especially if it's like a reoccurring service type of thing.
Well, no kidding.
Then, yeah, that makes sense. But like, well, actually, for me, I don't know if it's true for you. I think this is just more of a social anxiety quirk for me. But like, I hate allowing myself to look at the lapel of somebody's chest for their name tags. So I never learn the names of clerks or something that like at stores I go to, like Safeway up here. I go there like at least twice a month on average. And
I hate it myself.
I have for years, and I just don't know like any of their names because of the fact that I don't look at the lapel, because it makes me such an anxious person to think, like, as a guy, to look at someone's lapel because it's their chest area and it just feels there's where the chesticles are, and I'm like, I don't know if I want to be accused. Put myself at the risk of being accused of looking at somebody's pudding sacks, especially considering, like, you know, it's a woman with a pudding sack, obviously. Otherwise, I guess it's chesticles. Otherwise, but, you know, it's just like even with my glasses, sometimes it's kind of hard, especially with my focus, because my focus is on, you know, paying and like bagging and everything else, right? So I'm not, and then getting out of there. I'm not focused on like anything else. So that and a little bit of the conversation that you have with clerks, sometimes can be pretty lively and fun, you know.
Exactly.
The people up there are actually pretty fucking awesome. But like, I don't want to. It's especially that I know it's a part of the anxiety is the idea of modern day. Like, you look at a woman's chest, technically, area for where they're, you know, whichever boob they decided to put their name tag on at the top of the boob, you know. It's
exactly.
Like, listen, I don't. In this day and age, it's a minefield. It's like
it's a minefield.
It's playing the lottery, except it's a slot machine. It's a 50-50 if you're going to get the win this time, or you're going to get a charge because they felt sexually harassed. And it's like, I was trying to get your fucking name, but okay. Like, and I'm sorry I don't have the greatest attention span or vision, especially when you're distracting me by talking and or I have to pay, I have to fucking bag. I have to try to, and I'm like very anxious about that because I'm very slow at everything like that. So like if I'm by myself, that's going to take, like, I'm constantly in my head about that because then the line's going to get longer. They're going to have to wait a long time for me to get through because you're going to get through my stuff way sooner than I can get out of there with all my stuff. And so then you either have to make the people wait, or then you have to immediately have them back at the check stand where you're at as the clerk while I'm at the conveyor belt occupying it. You know, and it's just like literally there's a lot of fucking things going on in my head which doesn't have much capacity for attention anyway.
Yes.
All at once, and I don't have good vision, and those two things, attention span and vision issues, are not a good combination when you also need to like try to figure out what the fuck you're looking at as a name. Because sometimes you have to take a little extra length of time to like quiet everything down and finish a certain like a thought or like an answer to something. To actually then, after you've already been looking, to actually then get your brain shut down enough to actually only focus on the name to remember it. Or to be like, okay, that now I can read, you know? Like, you're trying to read, you can't read until there's no other stimuli entering your mind. Now you can read. You know, it's like, that's me. And plus, they're moving. So it's like, it's even harder to kind of like focus in on also not great vision on a name tag, on a moving target. So it's like, you know, and so for especially people like me, it's dangerous, and even more so if I'm already tired, because now I'm prone to spacing out a little bit and not realizing it, and that's you never know where you might space out at. So, like, that's also where a lot of the anxiety comes from with not wanting to look at, you know, for a name tag, because I like on transit growing up, like on the Max especially, I would just zone out. I was I would constantly just like space the fuck out so fucking hard. Like I wasn't even there. It's like I didn't exist. Nothing existed, you know, like that hard of a space out. And so when that happens, your eyes just kind of lock and settle on wherever the fuck it is. And it's like a stare, an empty stare. And so
I
it's
know
like,
what you
'cause
mean.
never blink because it takes stimuli to blink, right? Because even your brain is no longer
Dude,
checked in
I know what you mean.
to realize that you haven't blinked, you know? So it's just like you're just wherever. You know, I got big enough, quick enough that like and especially with like slouches and stuff, that my eyes would eventually rest and settle like on the cleavage or on the cleavage area of people or on the crotch area or something. And I wouldn't know it because I'm completely dead to the world. Just completely, like my brain is completely shut down. It's off. Like even subconscious is off. I'm just completely gone, spaced out. You know, literally not there. And so like you have to like shake and yell at me at the same time. And sometimes you have to like slap me a little bit while you're shaking me really hard and kind of violently and yelling at me to get me to snap back, you know. Sometimes it got that bad. And so it's just like, you know, and then there's certain people that would certain women, you know, obviously that would feel really uncomfortable with that because they'd move seats or they'd like say something. And of course, I wouldn't know what the fuck they're saying, but they're kind of, you know, upset with me or whatever. And so they're like, but you know, I'm a kid, so they voice it to mom. But like, you know, and so she tried to snap me out of it. It takes effort to do it, you know. And it's just like she'd have to keep telling me, "It's like, no, he's just spaced out. Like he's not, you know." And so, an example, while she's trying to like rattle me back, it's like, you know, it kind of proves the point without having to say it. But sometimes she'd say that, being like, he's just like, you can tell, like he's just not there, you know. So sometimes there was some strangers that actually would just like to test it. They'd literally go like this in front of my eyes. Literally nothing. Like I just was dead, you know, because I just don't see it. I literally subconsciously, my brain doesn't register that that's happening, you know. I'll be like, hello, you know, or whatever. Like right in front of my eyes, because it's like that's how the true space outs work. The true zoning works is like you were literally, it's like nothing exists. Like you and the world and everything in existence ceased existing. That's true spacing out. That's true zoning out, you know. And so it was from there that I became a lot more socially anxious because like I realized like I don't want to make people think a certain thing or be uncomfortable. And it's unavoidable in public, so I'm like, fuck, you know. And so I really had to work to try to keep myself from ever spacing out. And I know that's why also I don't look at people in the eyes. It made me even do it less. It's like I'll just look all over the place, you know, including when I'm thinking. I look like you'll always see my eyes going in my head going everywhere, but like the person I'm talking to or something, or even the camera. Like in these episodes, you can tell. Like actually, I'm doing it right now, but like, you know, but I also don't know I'm doing it unless I prompt myself or somebody else points it out. Because like that's just, I know that's part of where I learned that from as well. Is like to keep movement, including of my eyes, so that way at least it's somewhat engaged, hopefully enough that even subconsciously it will not let me zone.
Yeah.
But then a lot of times when I have, because I've started to relax a lot more nowadays, right?
Yeah.
Therapy's probably helping with that. But like, so I'm zoning out a little bit more now again. I'm starting to do it again because I hadn't done it for like most of my adult life. And now it's slowly coming back again. And I'm like fine with it to an extent, but it's just like, you know, it always will have the anxiety attached to it because I don't want to be on public transit or something and realize I just start staring at somebody's cleavage or something.
I know what you mean.
Like, oh God, I'm so sorry. Like I spaced out so hard. That was the worst place to have spaced on. I'm sorry. You know, but of course you can't live that down as a man these days. So you're just fucked no matter what. You know,
yeah,
it's like
fucked.
God damn it. I know it looks bad, but I can't help it, man. You know.
Yeah.
But I catch myself now because of starting to do it. I still have enough in the anxiety and the training that's like usually it will max out like 5 seconds. Like when you and me were last on the bus going up to record that episode 7 actually.
Yeah.
I don't know if you noticed, but I did space out at one point on the bus.
I didn't notice.
I spaced out for like 5 seconds before I caught myself. I'm like, you know, I had to start looking around again. You know, I didn't. Although at that point, I didn't even pay attention to where the fuck I spaced out at, where my eyes were. I didn't care. I was just like, just get yourself out of it.
Yeah.
You know, because yeah. It's gotta be weird. I mean, I would be disturbed by it.
No kidding.
If somebody was like kind of zoned out staring at me, it would feel really fucking creepy. And I'd be like, I get it, but at the same time, I think I would probably be able to roughly figure out that that's probably what's happening. You know, like they're obviously not actually staring at me; they're just spaced. You know, so I get it, but it doesn't change the fact it's not very comfortable.
Yeah.
I'd be more comfortable if it was a kid. If it was a kid, even like a young teenager, you know, like a 13-year-old, visually, you could tell that they were that. It's just like, I wouldn't care as much. I actually don't think it was kind of funny. Just like, you know, I'm like, I totally get that. Especially school age. Dude, I get it. Like, you should space out more. Specifically in class. Yes. Because fuck that.
Well,
that's the learned habit of behavior.
Well, no shit.
It's a coping mechanism for like, when I'm going to get out of here. Get me out of here.
Exactly.
Let me out of here.
But yeah, dude, I mean, once again, another one of those differences.
Yeah.
Although, we probably should end this episode.
Yeah, I know. We probably should. It just tipped over 2 hours 5 minutes ago anyway.
Yeah.
So, and it's 3:36 currently. So
yes.
That said, I actually wanted to start the episode with this, but I guess we can end it with this. I want to make a point that this is actually why I wanted to start the episode with this, because I didn't do it last time. So if anybody starts to watch this in the VOD later,
yeah,
they'll actually get it immediately rather than at the end. Because it's kind of important, I feel like, for context for you guys, is that from here, me and him, we talked about it yesterday, and we agreed that we're just to improve the quality from this stupid shit on my Chromebook to back to like at least video integrity is going to be right back at the top again, at the very, very top, is what you normally expect with the rest of our episodes we've output. We are going to be, and actually audio quality is probably going to be at least bolder, if not, you know, more audible, if not a little bit better in general as well, quality. But I guarantee it will be better. But we're just gonna go with the base recording files when we record episodes on my phone from here on out, and I'm gonna edit them that way for the foreseeable future instead, and I'll put the episodes after this episode. It's gonna go back to that normal kind of style episode and thumbnail again. But we're just not going to be doing the live episodes anymore. Especially considering, again, I can't stand this quality. Like, it's so bad. It's honestly kind of offensively bad. So, and that's not technically a fault of our own. That's a fault on YouTube because of the stupid 50 subscriber limit, minimum limit you have to have in order to live stream off of a phone, which is one of the most dumbest arbitrary things in the world. But then apparently YouTube's just chock full of those these days. So, like, I tried before we started, I tried on my phone to use my manager account, which is my own account, the Criminal Violin, because I have over 1,000 subscribers on there, to live stream as the manager on this channel for the episode on my phone. So that way we could do that instead and then still do what we agreed to.
Yeah.
I'm about to tell you. But you can tell for a fraction of a second it's about to let you do it, and then it gives you the fucking 50 subscriber limitation thing again. So you need to create shorts in order to get more views and subscribers before you can do this, because you need 50 subscribers to do that. So fucking stupid. So as a result, that's why we're here today this way. But the agreement is that, yeah, like I said, we're gonna just edit it as is. So me in the microphone, so that proper quality audio, the best quality audio we get for an episode is when I'm my producer's dildo, my purple head mic, and then him with the lapel mic. Because I don't really I just don't have the ability to do a proper editing with those included on Linux right now. I have to resort to doing it without those files. So it's just going to be the base audio file from the phone of the actual video itself. So literally just going to be a straight video file like you would get if I or anybody else went out vlogging out in the wild. Which, to be fair, isn't necessarily a bad quality audio. It's really not. The reason why I say it's a worse quality audio is because it doesn't have any noise suppression. So as a result, you hear like an example, this thing I clicked on just now right here, which is the industrial dehumidifier that they have built into the apartments here. So like that thing's really fucking loud. You're gonna hear the construction, like you probably have picked up on a little bit,
Exactly.
even with the low quality pinhole microphone today. Traffic noise, all that, any fan noise, people noise, interactions in the background. All of that's going to be audible in the episodes until something can be figured out. I'm also getting to a point where I think I'm going to just simply look into Arch Linux instead, see if there's the same monitor issue there. And if not, then I'm just going to basically cut my losses with Mint. I'm going to install an Arch Linux distribution on my USB stick, and then I'm going to uninstall, get rid of Linux Mint on here, and I'm going to install Arch Linux instead, so that way I can have both my monitors, which is a huge boon to me. It's going to help so much in a lot of ways, especially with recordings. And then we're going to then hopefully at that point I'll be able to get back into the swing of things with like actually getting DaVinci Resolve installed without all the stupid technical issues like running into trying to even install it. So that's kind of the idea there. And so from here on out, though, for the foreseeable future, it's just going to be not as great audio quality as the episodes before these live ones were. But at the same time, overall, the quality is going to be so much better because it's going to be full 1080 integrity, best lighting quality. Like literally, the whole camera quality is going to be just as you've gotten normally in the episodes. And it will be the same when it comes down to obviously the audio quality. It will be overall just a lot better and bolder. You'll get a lot more dynamic audio than a pinhole mic built into the monitor of a cheap chintzy laptop. So just wanted to put that out there so that you guys know that ahead of time. So there should not be another live episode for the foreseeable future. It should just be back to normal episodes in that way. So I'll get to editing week after next episode 10 on my system. And yeah, so you'll have it scheduled and output. So then you'll get back to a proper quality podcast instead of stupid live episodes. But anyway, that's pretty much what I wanted to say there. So with that said, thank you so very much for watching the Off the Cuff podcast. I have been Shaun Devoy.
And I've been Danny.
AKA DeMar Pinhead, apparently.
Yes.
And I lost heritage, therefore, since I am him. Anyway, and let us know your thoughts in the comments below of this episode.
Yes.
Because, again, like engagement not only helps the channel grow, it helps more eyes get on the episodes, potentially more subscribers, whatever else. It also just simply allows us to host conversations with you guys rather than just with each other, and then you guys just watch and you're like, yeah, I really liked it. Okay, cool, but like,
why?
As Jeb Bush once said, please clap.
Please clap.
Please engage. Please leave a comment with your thoughts, and your perspectives, because we want that engagement. Because we also want to literally, not just because of the algorithm, no, we actually really, because we mostly want to engage directly with you. We want to actually not just be having conversations with each other, because we do that already anyway, right? So, like, that's the cool thing about these podcasts, right? Is that you get to fucking engage with us while we do them.
Yes.
I mean, that's technically why you would think you'd want to be participant
in
these live episodes, because, you could do it live with us. You could have an actual conversation in live time with us. But no, apparently we can't have nice things.
No, we can't.
Oh, internet, what have you done? Anyway, but so we greatly appreciate you heeding this plea of desperation.
This plea of desperation.
It's an exaggerated. Anyway, and thank you so much for watching once again. And until next time, stay safe out there and don't get hit by a semi-truck. It's harder to do than you think, by the way, in this country. Anyway, goodbye.